Hi, I'm Kenzie Corinne, and this is my current work in progress. Alright, so this is the first video on the subject of my visual novel project, Folk Night. What should be playing right now in the background is a time lapse of me drawing character portraits for two characters from Folk Night. Their names are Mal and Troy. They're actually the protagonists, but I will get back to them later. For now, I guess I will answer two questions. First question, what is Folk Night? Second question, what is Folk Night about? First question, what is Folk Night? Folk Night is a visual novel, but not just a visual novel. My plan is to make it a serial visual novel, meaning its chapters will be released episodically over time. Secondly, it's a visual novel, not a kinetic novel, meaning there will be choices to make and there will be puzzles to solve. Your input will be needed to make it through this story. I really love those, when I was a kid, I loved the choose your own adventure books and stuff, and I guess when I got older and I got into games and I really just started trying new genres of games, I came to really like visual novels because they just reminded me of those books. Okay, second question. What is Folk Night about? Well, it's about Troy and Mal, these two best friends who attend high school together in a small town. In fact, they're juniors at the start of chapter 1. But it's not just about them. It's also about the town they live in and how they discover a mystery of sorts that starts to call into question everything they thought they knew about their world and possibly their own friendship. The last thing I'll say about story, without revealing too much, because there's definitely a lot that I would like to say in maybe a future video that's just about their world and can go more into depth about that, but also there's a lot that I want to save for you to discover in the actual visual novel, is that their world is very similar to ours, but it's very different too. You see, their history runs parallel to our own in a lot of cases, but in many other cases diverges. This is because in their world, fairies and magic exist. The formal term for these magical creatures is sea, but everyone mostly calls them by another name, which is folk, hence where the title comes from. Well, then there's the other night part, but again, we'll leave that for the future. I will say that the mystery that Troy and Mal uncover is very much related to the world of folk, and they're going to have to navigate both human and folk society in order to solve it. Okay, so I don't know what else to do to round out this video, so maybe I could explain a little bit about their characters, or the characters' personalities. Well, first there's Mal, and she's very honest and optimistic. She actually is the kind of person who always tries to see the best in people. And often her sincerity and her just kind-hearted nature is super disarming to people who aren't used to that. Unfortunately, this does mean her desire to believe in the goodness of people will sometimes make her blind to deception. Alright, and then there's Troy. I think Troy would call himself a realist, though Mal definitely says he's pessimistic sometimes. But Troy likes to think he opts for reason over feeling when it comes to problem solving. But sometimes he thinks he's too clever for his own good, and often can, let's say, miss the forest for the trees. He'll get really wrapped up in the details of something, which is great, especially if you're trying to solve a mystery, but he might miss just the simplest solution for something that's much more complicated. This often comes out in how he talks with people, overthinking what he's going to say, and then often coming off as a little bit more insincere. I guess you can say the two of them work well together because they can help make up for where the other one is lacking in terms of both people skills and problem solving skills. Alright, so that's all I'm going to say for this one. It took me a while to figure out how to even record this, but I'm hoping it gets a little easier when I make more videos in the future. I'm just going to let the music play for the rest of this, and I want to say thanks for watching, and hope to see you again next Friday. See you later.